Today is December the 14th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show where we share inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today, we have two service heroes that we are featuring because, well, I have been wanting to feature these two for a while, ever since I started the show, because they are serving the community in which my nonprofit serves, and so many more. The things that these two are up to, well, let's just say this. I know that everyone watching the show today is going to truly be inspired. In fact, get your pens out, get your paper, because you're going to want to be writing down notes. You're going to want to write down websites. You're going to be interested. Truly, let me just tell you, I'm inspired by them, and I know how to pronounce our female guest's name, Tamara. We were talking about that because so many times our name can be pronounced so many different ways, guys. Yeah, I answer to all, including Pamela. So, it's like, right? However, David and Dachinger, I want to make sure I'm saying your last name correctly.
You got it, yeah.
Good. And Tamara Green, welcome. The two of you have created an app that we're going to be talking about. Plus, we're going to be talking about so much more. Welcome.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah, it's great to be here with you.
Thank you. And I want to recognize we have our first ambassador of the chat, Helene Wilson. Thank you for being here. As always, first one here and welcoming the buddies, our community. Thank you very much. Love you, my dear. And she's welcoming everyone that's here. Love it. And we've got Lori Whitney. Love you. Glad you're here with us today. And you're still looking for your purple pin. Well, we're going to be talking about that at some point. We have two of the sponsors. You helped to sponsor the big event we just had for CB4L.org, also known as Chemo Buddies for Life, a community that helps those people that are affected by cancer to have a buddy, to feel as though they are part of community. And you chose to be a sponsor because this hits close to home, doesn't it?
Yeah, we lived it. We went through it as a couple, as a patient and caregiver, and certainly there's so many places where your mission and our mission intersect. We love what you're doing. We know how important it is, and we so appreciate that there are people like you who have boundless energy to give back to the cancer community. So kudos for everything you do.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
And you couldn't have done it without your chemo buddy, huh?
It's true, yeah.
There you go. And we are having a little bit of a sound issue right now, a little bit feedback, just to let you know, and so that we can be working on that. George, glad you're here. Hugs. And, in fact, right now, what I want to do is I want to bring up some film from the 36 hours, and you were on hour number 22, which was at 9 o'clock in the morning on Giving Tuesday. So we had not been on air quite 24 hours yet. And the two of you came on and you were introduced by a dear friend, Kim O'Neill, one of our volunteers, one of our sponsors also. So I'm going to bring that up right now, and then we're going to be sharing some more.
All right, and welcome to hour 22 of the CB4L annual telethon, 36 hours streaming live here, all in support of Chemo Buddies for Life. And this is the primary fundraiser for Chemo Buddies for Life. And we're so happy that you're joining us. We are in the second half of this whole 36 hours. We have another awesome guest here today. I want to go ahead and bring them up on the screen. We have David Dachinger and Tamara Green from the Loving Meditations app. Welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you guys here. I love in particular what you do. And so I think actually we have, and Barbara, how about we go ahead and show their commercial right now?
The doctor told me the answer, and now my head is spinning. He said I'm leaving with cancer, and my journey is just beginning. I'm stressed out and afraid. I have cried and I have prayed. Time to quiet my mind and be still. Take a deep breath and just chill. I put in my earbuds and decompress. Touch play on the app to ease my stress. I'm choosing peaceful relaxation with loving meditations. I'm loving meditations.
So here we are. Thank you for being one of the sponsors for the Tour of Love. And let's talk about Loving Meditations. What is it and how was it started?
Well, that little video you showed, the song, is almost like a soundtrack for what happened in our life. Started with going to the barber, having my hair cut, and the barber noticing.
Just a minute. Sorry, we're having really bad feedback and interruption with your mic right now. I don't know if there's something we can do or if we just need to overlook it.
Let's see what's here.
Okay.
How's this now?
Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. So let's start that over again. You were saying that that song and the commercial really does reflect what happened with your life and your story, correct?
Correct. It started with a trip to the barber, and during my haircut, he noticed a walnut-sized lump on my neck, which I had no idea was there. And that began a number of doctor's appointments and scans and biopsies and you name it, until probably 2 weeks later, we were standing together in the head and neck surgeon's office, and he said the 5 words that no one ever wants to hear: you have stage 4 cancer. And of course, your head is spinning, you're overwhelmed, you're in shock, denial, numbness, outrage. And it just put us on a course that we had obviously not planned for, and nobody's got the manual for it. You just show up and take it a day at a time. And that's kind of how we had to do it, was go minute by minute, day by day, and visit by visit till we came up with a plan, a direction. And as time went on, we learned ways to make the journey easier, more calm, and to make it have more meaning than just, I have cancer.
I have one more clip to play right now in regards to that event.
In September 2013, David's doctor spoke the 5 words no one ever wants to hear.
Sitting in the doctor's office, listening to the doctor tell my husband, you have stage 4 cancer. Wait, what just happened?
That moment, my whole life changed.
For most of us, coping with cancer is highly stressful and challenging. But what if you could transform your cancer journey to one of calm, peace, and relief?
My husband started the chemo and radiation, and here he was, such a strong man, and getting weaker, feeling worse every day.
I would watch and listen to meditations during those hours in the chair in the infusion center. It really helped me through the fear, and it gave my mind some positive input.
After conquering cancer, David and his wife Tamara created the Loving Meditations app, designed to reduce the stress and discomfort often felt by cancer patients, caregivers, and survivors. Loving Meditations delivers powerful daily programs for anxiety, fear, sleep, nausea, and pain.
I'm actually able to go into these treatments now very calm, very relaxed. I have no nausea and no vomiting.
Imagine you're sitting in the infusion center receiving a cocktail of IV medications, anticipating discomfort with lots of time in your hands. You remember that you have the Loving Meditations app on your device. Simply press play and enjoy a calming meditation. Whether you close your eyes or watch the beautiful images, you'll be transported to a space of relaxation within minutes.
So Loving Meditations is a wonderful app for me. I'm a caregiver. I'm also a cancer patient myself. It really helps me bring it down several notches. It's very accessible. I've got it uploaded on my phone, thank God.
Escucho las meditaciones varias veces a la semana y se siente una paz increíble. Tiene una energía muy especial.
Go to calmcancerstress.com to get the free Loving Meditations app.
Thank you, David and Tamara, for Loving Meditations.
I love it. I absolutely do. And I want to say that hello to everybody else. Catch up where we are. Hello, Nina. Glad you're here with us. Thank you very much, Carol, for everything you do and making sure that we are live on E360 TD. I believe we've got the sound now taken care of. I appreciate everything you do in regards to that. And Victor Orlando, our dear, how are we doing on the subscriptions for YouTube? We want to encourage everybody to go to Victor Orlando 1. We are working to get him to 1,000. And so, yes, we want to make sure that happens. Andrea, awesome. So happy you're with us. Can Anxiety. And beautiful video. All of their videos are beautiful. And so now let's go into the idea of the app. Okay, so you're diagnosed with stage 4, and of course within the community, the nonprofit, we understand the staging. However, we're on the Service Hero show right now, and possibly there are some people that do not understand how some cancers may be a percentage and some cancers are staged. There's different types of pathology reports, and that depends on the particular cancer that you have, what that answer is going to be. Stage 4, tell us about that, David and Tamara.
Sure. Well, what's amazing that we didn't realize, I never heard the word stage 4. The doctor said, I thought he said you have cancer. So it really took maybe a couple of weeks before Tamara reminded me, he said you have stage 4 cancer. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What does that mean? It means that cancer has started in one part of the body and has now traveled to another organ or another system. In my case, it started in my mouth and it traveled to the lymph nodes in my neck. So once it gets in the lymph system, it's problematic and concerning because that's a fluid system that's moving fluid all the time. So cancer cells can be traveling in that fluid. And so they really fast-tracked the treatment to try to, nip it where it was. But when it's stage 4, it means it's moved into other organs, other systems, and it's serious.
Right. And that was how long ago was it that you were diagnosed again, Tamara? You were saying it and I love the way you did that in the video. What?
That's exactly what it was like. Wait, what? Wait, what? This is my husband who works out every day. He's a lieutenant firefighter. He's strapping, healthy. He never gets sick. And the doctor's telling him he's got stage 4 cancer. It was just blowing our minds. Well, he kind of shut down a little bit. So I had to remind him that, and then 4 days prior to that, David's diagnosis with cancer, our 13-year-old son at the time was diagnosed with Lyme disease. So our whole world just kind of blew up within a week.
And anybody that's received any type of a call like that, anybody, and not to diminish any particular type of call from any type of a health related or something stressful in your life, it's like all of a sudden they say the deer in the headlight, the oh my goodness, that moment, the stress related and anxiety ridden type of a situation. And that is that fight or flight kind of thing. It's a reality that our bodies are made. And I am certainly not a certified licensed anything, though we have someone that is here. And yet there's things we can do, knowing the science and understanding that our bodies do naturally kind of start to go there. We can start to do the counteractive actions. We can make some progress in our lives if we know what to do. And that's a lot of the mission that you are out there in a variety of different ways. That's why I said, guys, pencil, pen, notepad, because here's your chance to start writing. Okay, so when you were diagnosed and you get through the whole, wait a minute, that was what, and you start to really okay, now what is the next step? That's when you can transition into things. Now, the two of you obviously are an amazing team. What were those next steps? Once you kind of okay, now this is what we're doing.
Sure. Well, as you said, it's a transition. We handed over the medical part to the experts and chose the best team that we could find. And once you hand it over and you feel like you have faith in their skills and abilities, then the question is, what can we do? I had so much time on my hands sitting in the chemo chair and in between chemo treatments, not being able to work or do any normal activity. What can we do at that time? So I started bringing headphones, earbuds to the chemo treatments with mindful audios, with meditations, with just relaxing music. And I'd spend most of that time trying to go into a more relaxed state instead of this, crazed, stressed out, super anxious state about what's happening to me. This is like the worst experience of my life. And I cannot discount the fact that I did make an amazing chemo buddy during that time who was going through treatment at the same time. And we would hang out in her room and just talk about, taking a trip to Utah when we get through with treatment or, life in general, family, whatever. But that support, to be with someone who's going through that same exact journey, her diagnosis was different, but it didn't matter. We're both basically in this intense experience of going through cancer together. And that was a bond that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And so, yeah, we transitioned. We started changing how we related to the cancer. Like, it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened to us, but now what's the gift in it? And what is good in our lives? What are we grateful for? What ways can we reconnect with, for me, how could I reconnect with my body instead of being like, you know what, body, you just screwed me. I'm going to just show up for those treatments. You deal with it. It's so easy to check out. And I decided, you know what, my body is a miracle machine. It's now going to go through some very intense treatment. The radiation was crazy, insane with the side effects. I'm going to honor my body and support it however I can. And so some of that was, nutrition. Some of that was yoga, stretching. Some of that was just making sure I took a walk every day and also just visualized my body repairing itself from some of the damaging treatment.
And then as a caregiver, as we all know, anybody who's affected by a major illness, it's not just the person with the diagnosis. The whole family is really going through something here. We're all going through our own journey, but we're all going through something big. So for me, after, I had done so much research on, what kind of treatment should he have and all this kind of stuff. I spent hours on the computer and time was of the essence. And so once we got really clear what the treatment option we were going for, and all the integrative medical ideas sounded great. So David actually combined both the medical and the alternative as well. And so after the schedule was made, I still noticed that I was pretty much freaking out, not really sleeping very well.
Right.
I was kind of going down that scary path of, what if he dies? Oh my gosh, did we catch it too late for my son? Did we catch the Lyme too late? He was, having kind of meningitis type migraines and rashes and, picking him up from school every other day kind of thing. And then I realized, Tamara, what are you doing to yourself? Oh my gosh, all the stuff you're telling yourself that's not even true maybe in this moment, it's just creating so much havoc for you right now. So that was kind of a big wake-up call when I just realized what I was doing, because how many times have my psychotherapy clients have come to me, right? And doing the same thing, totally freaking out, projecting into the future, so much anxiety, not sleeping, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized I'm doing it myself. So it was in that moment where I just said, you know what? I'm going to practice what I preach. And I'm going to start focusing on, I know for a fact that life is never happening against me. It's really happening for me. It's happening for David. It's happening for us as a family. So my job is to look at that degree of benefit in each and every step of the way. And so that's when things calmed down quite a bit for me and actually became, I'm going to even call it not just a self-exploration discovery, but also so much calm, so much presence that it actually started becoming even a beautiful experience, if I dare say that. But it was quite a beautiful experience.
You can. And we are still having some of the static. I know you were trying to work on it while she was talking, and it's still happening. We'll get through it. And, one of the things I remember when I first met the two of you at an event in San Diego, and I do believe you were speaking, Tamara, about the whole experience and as the caretaker and wife. And I was like, yes, we need more of the support people, who we call support buddies. We need more to step up and talk like this, because it will help the whole family, the patient, the support people, everybody involved in community to help the patient to get through the diagnosis. And I remember you saying something, I don't remember the exact words, but it left the impression of you got into a peaceful place, that you were, like you were just saying now, you got into that peaceful place. And so then that way you were able to be there for yourself, no matter what, and you were okay with the fact that you were okay with it. And then it really did help with the whole full 360 degree. And I will dare say, I bet it even helped with your son's diagnosis as well as David's, because as you put this family working in a really healthy direction, it's going to be amazing what happens. Can we just say, to the point where, yes, you can write it down, guys, and I would say miracle type stuff, right?
No question. There was one moment where I actually, I should say, we had an angelic visit. Well, went to bed the night before, crying, upset, overwhelmed, just so much. David was losing so much weight and getting weaker, and just, it was so painful to watch him try to eat because it was so painful for him to swallow. And, it's terrible. So I went to bed particularly upset, and I just said, just give me a sign, anything. I'll take anything. The next morning, it was a frigidly cold winter when he was going through all that treatment. And so I got up early to de-ice the windshield. And I go out, and there literally was this etched formation on my windshield that looked like feathers, like angel feathers, all over my windshield. We have it in our book, Live Calm with Cancer. I wrote a whole chapter on it. And it was the sign that just said, you know what, we're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. In fact, this is a miracle. This is a miracle. So it was quite something, and my son really was very, very excited about it and snapped all these pictures of it. So, the other thing too, Tamara, that I realized that I didn't really know before the cancer experience, and that is, so we have this, when you're diagnosed with cancer, or your loved one is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer or any kind of major illness, right? It's a trauma. They literally have studies that show it's like PTSD, right? Okay. And we really do think so much of our stress comes from I can't get through this. I can't do that. How do we get, we question that we can really get through it. But this is what I've noticed, especially after, I guess it's been over 3 years now of running a support group for cancer caregivers, is that it's almost like we're kind of a container, and we're holding all the stuff that kind of comes into our lives, the experience. But when you start the journey, and especially when you get present and you start focusing on things like David was talking about, like gratitude, or, this is actually working for us. And let me look at the degree of benefit of this situation, this experience. What happens is that the situation doesn't change. Maybe the suffering or the pain is still there, but we actually, that container actually begins to expand, and it holds more. And that's that place where I realized I'm going through a lot, but yet it's okay. I know I can handle this. Even if, God forbid, David doesn't make it, something really shifted on an internal level. And I knew that the space within me got so much bigger that I knew I could handle anything.
And that's what I remember. That's what I remember, is you talking about that. And I really, I am so grateful that we're talking about this right this minute. And I really want to emphasize this, because anybody that is a caregiver to anyone out there, anyone, I really want you to be taking the notes. And I know I joke around a lot, guys. That's my nature. However, this is real stuff. And what we're hearing right now, if you are not needing these words right this minute, at some point in time, I bet you anything, there will be someone in your life that will need to have these words. And that is to be present, to be able to be in that moment. And when you talk about that, gave so much more space. that gave so much more abundance, if you will. And then you can then fill up that abundance with all the good stuff that you know, and that's what you guys are all about, is providing that good stuff that you can then be putting it in. And I love the 1 minute thing, the whole idea, because you know, the fact that you guys talk about time so much, and time is a huge issue for so many people, and people are like, I don't have time to meditate. Are you kidding me? I need to do this, I need to do that, and yet 1 minute, you know, do you have 1 minute to feel better? And then to make that space for the 1 minute to make a difference. I'm just like, hats off to you. That's brilliant.
Well, that's kind of where we live in too, right? It's not as easy as it used to be to sit down twice a day for 20 minutes to meditate. So a couple of things we did. One was to make a portable mobile app where you could take it anywhere. And when you do have the downtime, like in chemo or in between or waiting for the doctor, you can listen to something that's maybe a little bit longer. But we've also discovered there are ways to shift into a space of calm and ease and presence as quickly as 1 minute. And if you do it throughout the day, say once every hour, the cumulative effect can be the same as meditating for long periods of time. So, you know, we've used them, we've taught them in workshops, but I've literally, you know, used my own training in a MRI scan when I was super anxious, and they prescribed some steroids that I didn't need to take, but it just amped me up to the point where, you know, it's hard enough getting inside an MRI machine, but then I was like, you know, jacked up, and it was like, how am I going to get through this? So I realized, let me just try one of these breathing techniques that we're always, you know, teaching. And so I just totally focused on my breath, nothing else. My whole mind was on feeling the air come into my nose, go out my mouth. And when I put all my attention on that, all those crazy, anxious, stressed out thoughts just kind of dissipated, and I was able to stay in there for the entire scans without, you know, pushing the button that says, let me out.
Yeah. And that's huge, because anybody that knows this, and when you have to keep going back, you know, and then those steroids. Oh yeah.
Somebody else.
Anybody that's been there and done that, they know. They're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And so you have this amazing community of people that you've put together, that you've collected, if you will, to be able to share the expertise, similar to like the Service Hero community of so many people that are doing amazing things that are inspiring others. You have a really heart-centered, very incredible team of people that you have put together to collaborate on this. And then you have a show and a live that you featured them a lot, right? And in fact, I have the opening for that, and then let's talk about that. Let's go into it.
Welcome to Peaceful Oasis Live, the Loving Meditations concert series, where we feature masters of meditation, musicians, artists, poets, and storytellers. In each episode, we take you deep into a state of relaxation with our guests as they share inspiring activations or meditations performed with expansive music. Sign up for our newsletter to get upcoming events and inspirations delivered to your inbox. Go to peacefuloasislive.com to receive event news and to view past episodes. We appreciate you, our viewers, and your wonderful comments and suggestions supporting our mission for peace and calm.
Beautiful. Now, I showed an image while we were talking about, David, the fact that, and Tamara was talking about the fact that you're a firefighter, and also you are a nominated, you know, like I'm thinking, look at this. You're in front of some orchestra, you know, and I'm sure you are, you know, and doing your thing here. And the two of you between your voice, Tamara, and then your music abilities, look at this. This is you have a full sound room, don't you? That you can create the meditations, that you can create the loving, infuse the love into what it is that you're sharing out there in the world. And I had this discussion just today in regards to how the healing power of sound, the healing power of that energy and frequency and all of this, there is actual science to this. And Tamara, you are also, and I shared it earlier on the screen, that you are a licensed, certified social worker that has that ability, and so the two of you together, I mean, what synergy? It's like, okay, yeah, you were meant to go through this, and so that you can help so many people, and you are. How beautiful is that? Let's talk about the fact that we can heal, because that's part of the message here. The story of inspiration, David and Tamara, the two of you, is that you're both here with us today. You're both here. And with good news, you're helping others now to find that healing, and through the connection, healing through adjunctive therapies, and the combination of traditional and alternative together. And that's really what this ends up being, right? Is like an adjunctive approach.
Right. It's our way of being of service, and that's something that's super important to both of us. Not only in loving meditations.
Okay, I want people to be able to hear this, and the sound has gotten a little worse, and so I don't know if you can change it just slightly, because this is important.
Okay, how's this sound?
A little better.
Okay. Try this. So it's incredibly important to both of us to be of service, and we are of service. Myself as a firefighter, Tamara as a therapist, and also as a facilitator of a cancer caregiver support group. But loving meditations is our labor of love to be of service to the cancer community, and knowing what it's like to go through that, at least our particular experience, knowing that there's ways to make it a little bit easier, take some of that, to me it's like there's a lot of power in words, right? The word cancer has so much energy to it. The medical terms, the things we see and things that happen to us, to our bodies during treatment, it's pretty heavy duty stuff. And so how can we get our mind in a better place? How can we get our emotions in a better place? And how can we just step back and say, okay, this is what it is, but I have a choice in how I experience it. I can experience it as a terrible thing, worst thing that's ever happened.
Okay, they're not able to understand anything. Maybe what we need to do is maybe disconnect your headset, David.
Yeah, just
Is your status now?
Yeah. Let's try it now.
If I can take like 2 minutes to set up a completely different mic. You want to do that?
Yeah, why don't we do that? I'm going to play a video right now while you do that, because what you're sharing right now is absolutely so incredibly important. And in the meantime, let's visit about a couple of things. We keep having our dear Helene, who is the first ambassador of the chat. She's got a sense of humor, guys, and we love her for it. And yes, she keeps us on our toes about our purple pen. So we're going to do the ode to the purple pen.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Okay, now let's do sound check.
How's this sound?
Let's see how we're doing. A little better. Absolutely no static. I mean, we just need to have you speak up just a little bit so we can hear your words.
Okay.
And
You
yes,
can hear me
perfect.
okay?
Oh, we hear you great. Yes. Okay, well, thank you for doing that as the mystery of the pen. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a running joke, and so that's why we created the video now. And here soon, guys, we have more that we're going to be sharing on the Tour of Love show that airs now on Sundays on the E360 TV platform at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific, noon Eastern. And so thank you very much for the help. Yes, and so happy that you're here with us, Christopher. And yes, great. Now, so let's continue this because this is a very important, let's revisit and kind of like bring this together because there's so much, there's nuggets. Guys, again, get your pen. And no, it's not purple, this one. So I don't have it. And your paper. And let's really be writing these things down because, again, the whole idea of the energy, the abundance, and the allowing for the space, and then how it is that the two of you went on this healing journey. And now, if you will, many would say, what you are and have been experiencing are miracles, being stage 4 and now here with us with Loving Meditations app. So let's explore.
Right. So we have so many ways that we want to be of service. And part of that, you touched on this earlier, was that we have worked with amazing collaborators on our app and talk about abundance and love and amazing energy. We have people from around the world who are meditation facilitators, musicians, poets, and storytellers. So they've been part of the Love and Meditations app, giving a voice to things that Tamara and I don't necessarily, aren't able to speak to, and they're brilliant in their own way. Some of them are doing Spanish meditations for the Spanish-speaking community. And during this last year, we were brainstorming how we could take it another step higher. And we came up with Peaceful Oasis Live, which is a way that we created a live meditation concert here in our studio in New York. And then our guest will be in whatever city they're in. And we do about a 20-minute program about twice a month and really have touched on so many different topics. This week, we're going to be doing faith in the face of cancer. So we're going to talk about prayer. At least our guest will be talking about prayer and her personal cancer journey with her sister. So we come from it a lot of different angles with new perspectives, new voices, and try to keep it fresh and do like the live concert version, which is it's a different kind of energy than doing the recording studio version.
We wanted to play.
That too, yeah.
Because one of the things we realized during our cancer journey is that we really weren't playing enough, and we were taking life a little too seriously. So, as you know, Tamara, right? It's a lot of work to pull together even a mission of love, a pure passion of love. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours, right?
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
you totally get it. And so we were thinking, let's play. Let's not make this work. Let's really play. So David is just such a master, as you said. He's Grammy nominated not once but twice, and he plays and creates, and I'm creating meditation or somebody, we have a guest on that's doing meditation or playing their harp or flute or whatever it may be, and it's just been pure joy and such a fun response with those Peaceful Oasis live meditation concerts. So we're so
Well,
thrilled.
you can see it in your face. It's sorry to step on your words. It's just you can see it right there.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's so beautiful. Absolutely so beautiful. My new purple pen. See, this is how we play. And you have to be able to laugh. You have to be able to find that joy. And music, and the doctor that was in the piece that I played while you were resetting everything up, he was the one to bring to my attention the science of so much of this. And then people have continued to come to us, different contributors and doctors and such things that have joined our community and have been teaching us about the frequencies of the music and of, and I was talking to someone today, and someone was saying that through our voice, even different levels within the frequency of our voice can affect different elements of even our own health and the health of others around us. And so when you think about meditation and you think about the words chosen, there's a lot more to it, right? It's the music, it's the inflection of the words. There's, and having someone that understands that and be able to put it together. That when we shared the clip of the patients that look forward to listening to these loving meditations, it's helping them to get through it. And I would bet that they're probably getting better results too, right?
Well, there's a lot, as you say, a lot of science behind meditation and how it has helped different kinds of cancer patients with better, not only better outcomes, but sometimes just a better experience through the treatment. There's also a lot of science behind stuff like the power of words, power of prayer, the power of love. That we try to blend all that together and create an immersive experience. So at the end of the day, we have the meditation part or the spoken part, we have the music part. Sometimes we'll have a guest that plays crystal bowls, which are powerful instruments, or we have a brilliant harpist who has been involved in cancer studies with music and does a lot of work in that realm.
And a cancer survivor herself.
And a cancer survivor. The power of music and sound is epic. And then we also wrap in a visual component on the app in particular. Sometimes it's nature images, sometimes it's just mesmerizing images. So we've created this immersive experience. And sometimes, setting aside everything we just said, when you're going through the muck of cancer treatment, sometimes you just don't feel that great. It's nice to pop in earbuds and just go somewhere else for a while, right? Just be transported out of that, that place. As much mindfulness and meditation as I did, there was still days when I felt like, lousy. And I just wanted something to get my mind off of how I was feeling. So we keep that, as part of the mix as well.
Can I confirm and second that? Because when I would, my doctor, again, the gentleman, the doctor that was on that clip, my doctor, and he kept telling me, "Oh, Tamara, you're winning the side effect prize." I'm like, "Oh, yay, one, that's really what I want to be winning." And yes. And so it got to a point where 1 minute was too far for me to look into the future, literally. I mean, because of everything that was going on. So I can say that is how I did it. I had set up what I knew. My mind, I needed to have my mind engaged somewhere so that I could then go there and it would help me to get through. And then I wasn't thinking so much about the pain myself, whatever it was. It would be like helping me to get beyond it. And that was powerful for me. That was how I did it. If I had known about your app, I know I would have been there. I know I would have had those earbuds in, got them right now, and I would have, been very much in tune to that, because it just makes so much sense to me. So much sense as someone that has been through it. And so, I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting this together for those that need it, because there are so many that do, and anything that we can be doing collectively to help to ease the pain and suffering, then we're going to have so many more coming through and helping the next batch. And we can change the way that this is done. That was why you coming onto the tour of love meant so much to me personally. I want you to know that, and I wanted to make that public, that it really meant so much to me, and I want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, and likewise, we are so touched by your mission and how you've grown it in the few years that we've known you, and the things you're doing are so inspiring. So we're very happy to be playing in parallel worlds in the same community with you.
Yeah, Chemo Buddies is, I'm sure, it's something that they look forward to. They know that there's somebody else that's going through the same thing. It's just like what I hear from my support group. I know I can get through anything because I know on Thursday evenings I get to share it with all of you. It's that kind of thing. It's that sense of community and connection and having something to look forward to. So bravo to you and all you're doing, Tamara. Amazing.
Well, thank you. And it does. It takes all of us collectively together. And I am going to invite anyone out there right now, anyone out there that hears this, share it out and share it out again and share it out again. Because the thing here, and even the fact that there was the static, that always lets me know that this is an important show. And it's just like confirmation, because whenever it's going to go wrong, it's like, okay, it's important. And there's those, and so thank you for being on your toes, taking care of it, because that's what we have to do. We're live. And that, though, let me know that there are people out there that need this now, need it. And we need to let everyone know that there are the buddies that are here for you. We have the loving meditation here. There are so many. Plus, if you are feeling inspired to be a part of this community to make a difference, find a group, find some way to come join us, join another. However, what we need to do is right now in 2020, we need to collectively, all of us, all of the nonprofits that are supporting this group, all of those that are profits with a cause that are supporting this community, we need to band together, because we need to change the numbers that they're saying are going to happen in the next 10 years. We can change it, but we need to do it collectively together.
Absolutely.
No question.
And this year has been like no other, because on top of someone who's going through cancer, then you have the COVID piece, which adds a whole other level of isolation, if nothing else, because friends of mine are going in for chemo. They cannot have any friends or family come with them. They're, reasonably concerned about their immune system being compromised in the midst of this. So having support is more important now than ever.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I don't know, I'm going to just put this here too, because it is absolute, without a doubt, we need to right now be giving each other the support. We have a buddy. If you need a buddy, you can have one for free. They're free. And we have a community, and come. We share a lot of humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love. And then you've got, the loving meditation, and then we have all of these amazing people like Victor Orlando and so many others that, he's a top performer that's traveled the world with the Gap Band and everybody. And he's joined us and helped to entertain us. And there's so many people that are good and they want to make a difference in the world. You are two of the stellar ones. And as we get ready to close, what would you like to leave with everybody right now? A nugget, a thought, some love. What would you like to share?
Of course, it has to do with love. And that is, what if you woke up in the morning? Doesn't matter if you're the caregiver, the survivor, the patient, or just your average, person going through just COVID, whatever. What if you actually woke up, acknowledge that it's so not easy to be a human being on this planet, right? Regardless of what you're going through. And what if you woke up and actually gave yourself a huge amount of kudos for even waking up, getting your feet over the edge and like standing up and, starting with your day, getting dressed, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. How about if you just give yourself like a huge hand for just facing another day, like, yay, me.
I love it.
Woo.
I love it. I love it. In fact, I got to do it. Yeah. Might not be super huge, but it's, yes. I love that. I love it. Thank you. David?
I think we can make different choices from moment to moment. And, one moment we can be in that muck, and the next moment we could choose to put our attention on something better, or to choose to feel better, or to do something positive. We are not completely helpless. We have a lot of power that we don't even realize we have. But the most important one is the power to have an experience that we choose to have. And so in the face of cancer, in the face of all the adversity that we are collectively going through, take a moment and think, is there another choice I can make to get through this in a different way?
I love it. I love it. Give yourself a hug, shake out your arms and your legs. There you go. Absolutely. All right. Well, as we close today, I want to say thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining the Tour of Love, being a sponsor of it. And collectively, I know we're going to be there to support each other and the community that we serve and love. So everybody, thank both Tamara and David. Please share the love with them and be sharing this out too. All right. See you on Wednesday, and another junior service hero is going to be featured. Oh, wait. You guys are going to want to be there. It's going to be a fun show. Bye, everyone.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.